Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of System Update. I know it's been a while since we did a video, but I plan to get back on a regular schedule this time. Hopefully it's going to stay that way for a while, and I'm not going to go on another month and a half long break. Hopefully. This episode's a bit different because we're only covering one topic, the Video Game Awards, and it's also a little different because this episode is not scripted. I just kind of turned on the mic and started rambling, so there's a whole lot of stuttering and uhs in this video. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I am going to briefly go over who won all the awards and what I thought about the show. If you guys don't know what the Video Game Awards are, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is a huge awards ceremony centered around video games and video game developers and, basically anything revolving around video games. And it's sort of an attempt to bring, gaming into the mainstream and, make it, more of a mainstream form of entertainment. And I enjoyed it. I think this is definitely the best it has ever been. It's been going on for a few years now, and it hasn't exactly been the greatest, but I think this year was definitely the best, and it's getting better with each coming year, and hopefully it's going to continue to get better and, do a good job of, making video games a more, something that's just happening in every home. Like something like television, right? Everybody's got a television. Hopefully video games eventually, will be mainstream to that point where it's something for everybody, something that everybody has in their home. But of course, that's besides the point. The point is, there are a lot of awards given out, and a lot of awards that were won. Some I completely agree with, some that I do not exactly agree with. But we're gonna go down the list. I've got my 2-page long thing of notes here, and I'm just going to read off who won what won what, 1, 2, 4, whatever the heck. So let's get right into it. The first award they were giving out was the best multiplayer. The nominees were Black Ops 3, Rocket League, Destiny, Splatoon, and Halo 5. All of which are pretty alright games. I was never huge on Destiny. I have it. I have the Taken King version because, I wanted to try it out, and it was alright, I guess. And Halo 5, I haven't played it yet, but I know that I've heard a lot that it's not great, but I've never liked Halo, really anyway. The winner for the best multiplayer ended up being Splatoon. The next award was Best Mobile Game, and this went to Lara Croft, I'm sorry. It's like Lara Croft. It's like Minecraft, Tomb Raider. Jokes. Anyway, the Best Mobile Game, Lara Croft Go. I have no idea what this game is, but I've seen it on the App Store before. I've never decided to grab it because I just assumed it would be bullcrap, like every other mobile game based off of a larger title. Also, I just want to say that this award show was not only awards, there were also tons of world premieres and, various other things going on this show. And the first world premiere they revealed was a new trailer for Uncharted 4, which, it's just a new trailer for Uncharted 4. Introduces a new character and shows Nathan getting his ass kicked by Anne Grill, which is pretty awesome. But of course, it looks like an Uncharted trailer. It looks pretty cool. I've never played any Uncharted game, but with the release of the Uncharted collection, I'm really hoping to get into it. They also world premiered a trailer for Shaq Fu 2. Yeah. I saw the Kickstarter for this a long time ago. I was like, they are not. And they are. They did a trailer for Shaq Fu 2. It's actually happening, and I'm very excited for this. If you guys don't know what Shaq Fu was, it was a Super Nintendo game that is renowned for being probably one of, if not the worst video game of all time. And if the name tells you anything, it's Shaquille O'Neal Kung Fu Fighter. I mean, how can that not just be the greatest game? I'm looking forward to that because Shaq Fu 2, dude, I can't even imagine. They also showed a trailer for a new show called E-League, which is a tournament, a CSGO tournament that will be airing on TBS, on TV. Video games on TV. Whoever would have thought that would be a thing? They're going to be airing a CSGO tournament that will be airing just as a show. They said how many episodes. I completely forgot how. I didn't take note of that. But there's going to be a TBS show. Knowing how mainstream media has portrayed video gaming, this probably isn't going to be that great. But, I mean, it is, in a way, I guess, bringing esports and making it more acceptable as, a sport, because, everyone knows the whole controversy between ESPN and video games and how, ESPN aired a video game tournament and people were fighting and saying that, competitive gaming isn't a real sport, which I believe it is a real sport. I believe video games should be accepted as a real sport, but, there are definitely a lot of people who didn't agree. So, I think this is a neat way of trying to, make esports more acceptable. But at the same time, I feel like it's not going to do a great job of appealing to legitimate gamers, which is probably going to be a problem. But of course, like I said, it's doing something good. Hopefully, I'm sure it's going to come out and it's going to be a really crappy reality TV show about quote-unquote gamers, living the quote-unquote real life of esports, but whatever. The next award they presented was the Best Esport Team. The nominees were Team Solomid, SK Telecom, Optic Gaming, Fnatic, and Evil Geniuses, and the winner was Optic Gaming. Well-deserved. I like Optic Gaming. Actually, they're probably the only esports team on this list that I've actually, sat down and watched before. I like them. They're a good team, so, good for them. Congratulations on winning that. And the next award was the Esports Game of the Year, being Counter-Strike Go. Another thing that I agree with because I love Counter-Strike. I think Counter-Strike Go is a great game, and it is another well-deserved award. A lot of these awards I think are well-deserved, but at the same time, there are definitely plenty that I disagree with. But of course, that's going to happen in any award show. That's just the nature of it. The next world premiere they showed off was a Batman Telltale's game trailer. I feel like there's not a lot to say here. They didn't really show any gameplay. They just kind of showed the Batman logo next to the Telltale Games logo and, some neat commentary. But I never liked Telltale Games. I played a little bit of the first Walking Dead, a long time ago when it came out. I didn't really like it. But I might go back to it and try it again. Maybe I'll like it better now, but, I really want to like Telltale Games, but as much as I try, I can't like them. It's hard for me to like them, especially that they've made so many, with so many different IPs that, at this point, Telltale Games as a company has just sort of become a joke in the gaming community? Yes, the gaming community. No, the gaming community. Because of just, their games just not really improving. People are actually, like I said, I haven't played basically any Telltale games, but I've heard a lot of people saying that, they're not that, as time goes on, they're getting worse and worse, and that's a result of them never updating their engine, which you can tell. If you look at a Telltale game that was made, 3 years ago, and, one that was made, last year, they run on, the exact same engine. It's an engine that needs to be updated. They're really, I guess they're good at storytelling. Like I said, I haven't really played any of their games, but I've heard just overall game, they've progressively gotten less and less good, and, but they still keep making games. They still keep making the same game, the same type of game. I know it's like the type of game that their company specializes in, but it's just, if the gaming community isn't really enjoying these types of game anymore, it's time to move on to a different type of game. Point is, I don't like Telltale games, really, but, I mean, it's Batman. Maybe they made a good Batman game. I don't know. The next award given out was the Best Narrative. The nominees were from Her Story, Tales from the Borderlands, another Telltale's game, Life is Strange, The Witcher 3, and Until Dawn. The winner for this category was Her Story. I never played this game, but from what I've heard, it is an amazing, police detective narrative. I believe it revolves around you, interrogating this girl and trying to figure out some sort of mystery thing, and apparently is really in-depth, really awesome. I haven't played it yet, but it apparently is just phenomenal. They showed off a world premiere trailer for Far Cry Primal, which, in my opinion, I don't think that's going to be a very good game, specifically because of what it is, which is Far Cry set in a Stone Age. Which, I mean, just from hearing that, you can already tell what is going to make this game not that great, which is that it's set in a Stone Age, which really, dumbs down a lot of what, made Far Cry, by taking away a lot of, guns and, this cool action stuff and replacing it with stones and sticks, which sounds cool, and, having all these prehistoric animals, that sounds cool, but I feel like in a game, like in a $60 AAA title, that's not going to bid that well. I feel like the game's going to get very boring very quickly because it's like, how much can you do with sticks and stones, right? I don't have a lot of faith in Far Cry Primal, but the trailer looked pretty cool. But at the same time, it seemed like the main appeal of this game was now there's these prehistoric animals. That's pretty cool, but what is the game? Is the game gonna be that I can tame these animals? Like, what do I do when I tame these new animals? It just seems stupid almost. That, you're gonna have this game that's like about a primitive era, then obviously the game's gonna be pretty primitive and you're not gonna be able to do a whole lot in it. So basically, I don't think Far Cry Primal is gonna be all that interesting. I'm probably not gonna end up picking it up because, I've only played Far Cry 3. I haven't played any other Far Cry's. I didn't even play Far Cry 4 because I don't know, I just never picked it up, and by the time I was able to pick it up, the hype had passed, and, I wasn't that interested in it anymore. But Far Cry Primal, I'm really not interested in. This, it does not seem like it's going to be a great game. So, next up, they had a performance by Churches, which, not a great performance, really. I mean, if you like that type of music, then it was, I guess, but I didn't like it. The next award given out was Favorite Trending Gamer, and the nominees were Total Biscuit, Markiplier, Greg Miller, PewDiePie, and Christopher Monte Cristo Michaels. The winner, of course, was Greg Miller, which is, I think that's well-deserved. Greg did a lot for, games media in general. I think that's a well-deserved award, but if I got to choose myself who won, I would have picked Total Biscuit because, Total Biscuit is a huge inspiration for me. Total Biscuit, you're my trending gamer. I love you, man. There is a world premiere trailer for Psychonauts 2 crowdfunding campaign. If you guys don't know what Psychonauts is, it was a game that was released for the original Xbox that was taken pretty well, but overall just went over a lot of people's heads. But later it was re-released on Steam, and suddenly people started to realize how great the game actually was. It grew, a larger fan base than it already did, and people started to really love it, and people really wanted a sequel. So Tim Schafer decided to have a crowdfunding campaign to fund Psychonauts 2, $3.3 million. a campaign for $3.3 million. And to be fair, Psychonauts is a very, very good game. It's a great game, actually. I would consider it. It's one of my personal favorites. But, of course, with a game like that, that's such a cult classic, making a sequel, isn't always the greatest idea, for obvious reasons. Obviously, it's already gotten a bunch of hype. The game, I guarantee, has barely even started development yet. If any development. And it's already got, bigger hype than Fallout 4. Or, close to the hype that Fallout 4 had. Which can only mean that this is going to be a disappointing sequel, and not because it's going to be a bad game. In fact, I guarantee it's going to be a pretty good game. Maybe even a great game. But I feel like no matter what, fans are going to be disappointed because, the hype that's been built around it with just one tiny, minute-long trailer that doesn't show anything other than the Psychonauts logo, basically. However, I'm excited for it. I am looking forward to Psychonauts 2 whenever it comes out. Looking on the Kickstarter page, I think they were saying it was supposed to come out, in 2018, or 2017, or 2018, I don't know, it's a long time from now. So the crowdfunding's up for that right now on, I forgot what website it is. It's not it's not on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or anything like that. It's on a different website that nobody uses to crowdfund ever, but it exists. So go check that out, and if you like Psychonauts, I guess go ahead and support it, because Psychonauts 2, it's gonna be great because it's Psychonauts. And I'm not overhyping it at all, because the games like that can never be overhyped at all. It's gonna live up to my expectations. I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna have wet dreams at night, because Tim Schafer. The next award was for Best Indie Game, and the nominees were Axiom Verge, Her Story, Undertale, Rocket League, and Ori and the Blind Forest. And the winner was Rocket League. I love Rocket League. That game is beyond fun, but it's not Undertale. I was really hoping Undertale would win this because it is my personal favorite from any of these games. I liked them all. Like I said, I never played Her Story. I also never played Ori and the Blind Forest. But Undertale is really good. Why didn't it win? The next award was for the best sports racing game, which, of course, Rocket League. These awards that I'm, some of these awards are just mini awards that don't, they didn't have any stage time. The guy just kind of came up and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Rocket League is the best sports racing game, by the way." So, the next award that was given was the Impact Award, for Life is Strange. The next award was Best Fan Creation, which was Portal Stories Mel. If you guys don't know what Portal Stories is, it is sort of like a mod for Portal, I guess. And those two were also very smaller awards. I'm also starting to go a bit faster because I'm realizing that this is going to be a 30-minute video if I keep going at the rate I'm going, maybe even 40 minutes. So I'm just going to start reading off the awards. The next award was for Developer of the Year, hosted by Conan O'Brien. Wow! The nominees were Bethesda, Kojima, From Software, CD Projekt Red, and Nintendo. The winner was CD Projekt Red. Sadly not From, because I love Bloodborne. Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time, and I really like Dark Souls also. It's another one of my favorite games. But sadly, From didn't win. But CD Projekt Red did win, and Witcher 3 is a really good game. Is a really good game, actually. The next thing up was a world premiere for Oculus Rift Guitar Hero. Why? I don't know, because Guitar Hero, but with Oculus, that's why. The award for Best Art Direction went to Ori and the Blind Forest. It was picked from the nominees of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Witcher 3, Ori, Bloodborne, and Batman Arkham Knight, also not Bloodborne. Although, Ori was understandable. That game has very great, art direction. But like I said earlier, it's not Bloodborne. That's a problem for me. They had a world premiere for Shadow Complex Remastered, which I have no idea what that is, but it is an action platformer, and it looks pretty alright. And for the holidays, basically, I guess from now until January, the Shadow Complex Remaster is free on their website. So I went and downloaded that. I haven't played it yet, but I want to. So that's gonna be pretty fun. The award for Industry Icon went to Brett Sperry and Lewis Castle of Westwood Studios, who basically, I guess to put it into simplified terms, basically created the real-time strategy genre. Things like it had been done before, but they're the ones who really made it, a popular thing and started the, the RTS era of gaming. There was a world premiere for Rocket League on the Xbox One. What's to say about this? It's Rocket League, but on the Xbox One. I feel like that's all that needs to be said. I love Rocket League, and I'm happy to have it ported to the Xbox One. I already have it on the PS4, but, now it's on Xbox One. I'll play it with some of my Xbox One buddies. It's coming out in February 2016. Look out for that. The Best Action Adventure Game nominees were Metal Gear Solid 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Batman, and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the winner going to Metal Gear Solid 5, of course. Keith Sutherland went up to accept the award because fuck Konami. Hashtag fuck Konami. You know why? Kojima himself would have accepted the award, however, Konami did not allow him to go to the Video Game Awards. They did not allow him to attend, therefore he could not accept his reward, because he still has an employment contract with Konami. Kojima, you realize half the internet already hates you, and you're not doing a great job of, redeeming yourself. Really at all. In fact, you're just making the hashtag fuck Konami more popular. It's like, come on, Konami. You need to step up your game. Make people not hate you as much. Please. Hashtag fuck Konami. They had a nice little tribute to Kojima with the Metal Gear Solid 5 music performance of Quiet's theme, which is pretty alright. I liked it. Speaking of which, the best soundtrack went to Metal Gear Solid 5, which, in my opinion, I think there are games that had better soundtracks than Metal Gear Solid 5. More so Bloodborne and Undertale were the ones I would have picked. But of course, Metal Gear Solid 5 also did have a very good soundtrack, and congratulations to Kojima, not Konami though, because hashtag fuck Konami. The best performance was from Ashley Birch of Life is Strange, Doug Cockle, The Witcher 3, Mark Hamill for Batman, Camilla Luddington for Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Viva Safer for Her Story. The winner for this was Viva Safer, who won. She's in Her Story, yet for some reason when they announced her, they said that she was a performer in Witcher 3, and that sort of sparked some confusion on who won. Was it her, or was it Doug Cockle for Witcher 3? It was a bit difficult to figure out, but it was a bit of a little screw-up, and, screw-ups happen, I don't blame them. But it was a bit confusing, and I was sitting there being like, did Witcher win, or did Her Story win? I don't know. There was a world premiere for a Telltale mini-series for The Walking Dead. And, I already did my spiel about Telltale and Walking Dead and what the heck. Also, a little side note I'd like to add in. Jordan Payton, also known as Legion, also known as Legion Queen, on YouTube, went on to talk about Battlefront for a while, and in between the Game Awards, basically in every commercial break, they would have a little segment where they would, interview people about Battlefront. And I wanted specifically to talk about Legion because he's a personal favorite YouTuber of mine. I like his stuff. I've been a fan of his for a long time. So shout out to my boy Legion. He's a great guy. You should watch his videos. He's very funny. I love him. So I just wanted to add that. And now, of course, Game of the Year, the award everyone's been waiting for. Yes. And the nominees were Witcher 3, Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, Fallout 4, and Mario Maker. All very great games, except I haven't played Fallout 4 yet. I haven't played that one yet, but I have, or Metal Gear Solid 5. I didn't play that either. Unfortunately, I really want to get to those games, though. And the winner ended up being Witcher 3. Very well deserved. I love Witcher 3. It is an unbelievably just beautiful, amazing game. But if I had to pick who won Game of the Year, I would pick Bloodborne, because Bloodborne is definitely my favorite game of all time. I've gotten every achievement in that game. I've spent over almost 100 hours in that game, and I would have picked it for Game of the Year, but what you gonna do? However, I'm very proud of CD Projekt Red and Witcher 3 for winning that award, because Witcher 3 is just a great game. It deserves Game of the Year. As for the other games, Mario Maker, I could have seen how that would win too. That was a very great game. All these games were great. But Witcher 3 emerged victorious and is Game of the Year according to the Video Game Awards. And it closed with a Deadmau5 performance. I've never been a fan of Deadmau5. I think that's actually one of my complaints about this whole show in general, is they didn't have a whole lot of great music performances, really. Deadmau5 didn't do bad, but, he didn't do great either. He didn't do good either. He's a very average performance, in my opinion. But, hey, what you gonna do? He did good, I guess. Overall, I thought the Video Game Awards was a pretty good show. I think this has been the best out of, all the shows that have been in, the recent, 2 or 3 years. I enjoyed it. I think all the games that won awards deserved those awards. Maybe not all, but I think most of them, earned their awards. And it was a pretty good performance. So, with that said, thank you all for watching. This special episode of System Update went on for a lot longer than I actually thought. Went on for almost 30 minutes, which is great. I like having longer episodes every now and then. So if you liked the video, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to watch more. There'll be another episode next week, guaranteed. Probably not. Anyway, fuck Konami. Hashtag fuck Konami on Twitter and Instagram and MySpace. See you next week. Goodbye.